Welcome everybody to the live sales funnel coaching. Google and Strategy Sprints want to help small and medium business survive and thrive in this very dynamic year that we are in. But you are not alone. We are in this together, and today we will try to equip you with some tools. Who is we? Hello everybody. Markus, Kienberger and Severino here from Strategy Sprints. We are a team of people who are business coaches. We help small and medium businesses grow and scale their business. This is an example of what we are just doing in July, August, and September. So we try to increase the health and the revenue of companies, especially in this very dynamic year. This is what we do, and today we want to work with you on optimizing your targeting, reducing costs and differentiate more, become incomparable, and also make sales your superpower. So in around 50 minutes, you should have a ton of insights, but also one very applicable tool that you can download for free about how you can optimize your targeting for your business, how you can reduce costs and differentiate more, and also how you can make sales your superpower. And in order to do that, we asked you who wants to be the live coachee. So thank you so much, Michael from Asset Up, for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have prepared this session, but there are also some very surprising things for us both that we will emerge. We will try to understand your business and then directly apply these three tools to your business so that both you will get a ton of insights and applicable steps, but also everybody else in the chat. Markus and I will also have a look at the chat. So whenever you have a question, just put in there, or an idea or an insight. Let's have this conversation, and we can do a Q&A at the end, or we will just pick up the questions as they come. Feel free. This is for us all to learn. So let's do it. Let's try to understand the current business of Asset Up. Who is it for, and what's the main product?
Well, I'm just telling a little bit about the history, because I'm a civil engineer and working in real estate development for the last 8 years. And more people were coming up and asking me for checking their property. And so last year, or at the beginning of this year, I came up with the idea about like offering this service kind of properly. And the people asking me are mainly entrepreneurs, people who got a property from the parents. So that was the beginning. And we're coming from project development. I immediately see potentials of properties, and that's why we called our company Asset Up, because that's probably mainly the main reason why people ask me for checking their property. They just want to know the value and know the potentials. So yeah, that's actually the main first step product we have. Quick, rough check from professionals, where you can see immediately the value and the potentials of your property based on like experience and market data. And it's about, I would say, depending on the property, it's about 1,800 to 2,000 euros, and you get it very quickly, and you have a very nice overview about the property, and you know the hard facts immediately and the potentials. And our clients appreciate a lot. You also get the like the next steps you have to do to move on with your property, which is first you have to talk to maybe an architect, or you have to talk to your lawyer, because there are some legal issues on your property. So that we really give them like a little guide what to do next, which helps you get started. That's how it works in project management. And
perfect. Yeah,
and actually we have I've received very valuable consulting from Strategy Sprint as well. And actually we developed a kind of a value chain, which is step 1. That's the one I explained, step 2 and step 3. And step 2 is looking deeper into like the facts of the property, which is really checking legals and laws and like the hard fact, which takes much more time. So it's like a feasibility study or due diligence, which costs about 10 to 20,000 euros, depending on the property. And the third step, and we do have clients already using going the third step with us, is really moving on, because our main clients don't have their own like staff developing their properties. So we offer them to after defining the goals and the step, we offer them to go with them for like a couple of months to go further. And
okay.
Yeah.
So you have property, but you don't want to have a whole staff managing it.
Exactly. That's actually our clients we focus on, which are entrepreneurs, not professionally investing in real estate. It's those companies usually produce some industrial companies produce something else or do something else, and do have properties in their assets.
Perfect.
Don't
now,
really.
We have discussed around the 11 elements of your business health right now that you described as this. This is the diagnosis as we always do to understand where a business is and where you assess your strengths and weaknesses. Can you tell us a little bit about what you see as the strengths and weaknesses in the field of strategy, your vision, your execution, your positioning and offer?
Yes, it's the strategy is to actually establish a staff of a team who can really respond quickly to our clients, and we have kind of turnover goals, but we are at the moment we're kind of trying to move on with our turnover to establish like this stuff. So that's the at the moment. And then our vision is, of course, to have like a really fit team to be able maybe to invest ourselves or to develop projects as well with partners. So yeah.
You rated your sales system as 5 out of 10. What would you need to be at 6?
What we do is we are trying to kind of analyze our sales successes, and to move to 6, we need to scale up like the numbers of people we're talking to, and that's probably the first the next step we have to do, just to talk to more people and to be aware, like create awareness in the market. Yeah.
All right. And can you walk us through how you currently acquire customers? So how they get aware of you, and then how you cultivate their interest from low interest to high interest? How do you make them ready for sales? How do you close?
Well, I do have a good network in the Austrian industrial sector, which means I do have a lot of personal meetings and presentations. And but what we are doing at the moment is we have a landing page like focused on our target group, and we are starting on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well. An online campaign to be like to scale up, to be able to scale up and to find people who are not in my network, of course. And actually, we have targeted people on LinkedIn as well. Very low numbers at the beginning, and we have very interesting results coming out of this, because my first like online client was is not a young entrepreneur. It's a 75-year-old entrepreneur from a Mountain Valley, a kind of very interesting person to work with. So yeah, we are very curious about the next results we get out of our yeah. It's still try and error, because we are improving even the sentences and communication, and how to attract people, or how to make people react on kind of like a tease, I would say. So yeah, we are still trying things out.
Well, then let's go directly to the marketing system, because the marketing system are the three layers where you attract, you educate, and you ask. So when you attract, in this example, it's the yellow one. When you attract, the question is, okay, how do you say, hello, here we are, and attract the right people? So who are the right people? The one who really feel spoken to, who say, oh, that's me. You are talking to me. I need this. I want this. So the yellow system is how to create points of touch, like being on LinkedIn, being on Facebook, being on YouTube, doing webinars like we are doing now. So where can you be seen? The traditional media, but also the emerging ones. Where can you be seen and experienced? From there, it's about two questions that then people have. Question number one, can I trust this person? Mm-hmm. Question number two, do they have a clue? Are they experts? Exactly. So these two things, that's the blue system. How can we educate? How can you show your expertise via questions that you have? That can be done via surveys, or by just giving some value. For example, your assessment. Your assessment is made of questions. In this, you could do a very small assessment for free, a part of the whole, which is a taster. Like when you go to the supermarket, you want to buy a new cheese, but of course you want to taste it before you buy it. So you will get a little taste sample. What can be the sample? That's the blue part of the system. For example, a quick check of your property, or a PDF that says, this is how you can find out if your property is undervalued or underused. It's a 3 pages PDF, or it's a 5 minutes video, and I walk you through how you can assess your ROI on using the property versus not using it. Or I show you what you are wasting in terms of money if you don't use it. It's a 2 pages PDF. That's the blue thing. And so if you can create value for 7 to 14 times, then 15th time, you can ask for work. You can say, okay, and also we do this professionally. What about working together? Let's jump on a call. And one thing that we like to do in order to compress these 14 points, because in the traditional way, you would need 6 to 9 months to have these 14 experiences. But you can compress it using an RBS, a relationship building sequence, like sending 11 emails in 14 days, with videos, with PDFs, etc., doing webinars. You can create many points in a shorter time. That's the blue system there. And then the dark blue is how you ask for work. That's the sales part, where we will deep dive in a second. Any questions you have in the chat, just ask them directly. And we have cases about this marketing system where we show some examples of this marketing system every week on the strategy show. So if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the strategy show and get these examples delivered. Now, from the freedom levels, you have described yourself as being both the founder, the CEO, but also doing the business yourself right now. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
So, so you are somewhere in between having a job and having a business. So you have a great job, a series of great jobs. Every project is a great job, but you couldn't go on holidays for 4 weeks and everything runs itself, right?
Sure. It has an impact on the turnover. So
without impact on the turnover, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're transitioning from having a series of great jobs to having a business that runs itself. And so we will have a deeper look at that transition. Then the next step on the freedom staircase will be to be just the CEO, so to do just the growth. And then one day to fire yourself from the position of CEO and just to be the owner who observes and discusses and gives inputs, but is not responsible anymore. This, of course, is done via systems to be installed: the strategy systems, the structure systems, the people systems. And now let's go to the ideal client, because you said you are trying to find out which words to use and you are testing this. So let's go to tool number 1. It's really important to not rely on the demographic self, but to go deeper than that. Deeper means, where do they want to go? What are their dreams, their aspirations, their goals? Let's see an example here that I learned from Google, actually. So if you just go demographics, for example, you target age over 65, father, married twice, born in England, dog lover, and high net worth individual. Do you think this is a specific targeting? Most people would say, yes, it's quite specific, right? It's 6 levels of segmentation, but
I would say yes.
yeah, so it's 6 levels of segmentation. It sounds quite specific, but it describes both Ozzy Osbourne and Prince Charles. So it cannot be specific, because the one will say, yeah, this is me, and the other is really different, right? So we have to go deeper. And this is the exercise where we go deeper right now. So also you in the chat and people watching this later on YouTube, take a pen and paper and do this exercise with us right now. I will walk you through these 7 steps. So this is how you really clarify who the ideal client is and make it very clear on your website. So right now, if you check your website, 99% of your websites have this problem. The hero is not clear. So either you have no hero. Who is the hero here? Is this for me? Is this for somebody else? I see features when I go on website the first time. But is it for me or is it for somewhere else? Who is the hero here? The hero should be the customer. And your brand is the guide. In this example of Yoda, you see exactly who is the guide and who is the hero. This is how it should be. Also, in many cases, the brand itself is the hero. So look how good we are. Look at our results. Look at our 75,000 testimonials. Then you are reversing the hero now. Now you are talking of your brand being the hero. And when a hero sees a hero, they say, oh yeah, nice to see you. But you know what? I'm on a mission. I don't have time for that. Let me save the princess and then we talk later. So they will jump off and they will lose interest. So in the first 7 seconds, we have the chance, in the online world to state, hey, this is for you. You are the hero, and this is where we can bring you if you work with us. So let's see an example. The hero also needs a problem and an obstacle, and this is usually the nemesis, the villain. Can be something external or internal. For example, when I tell my kids to brush teeth and they say, no, 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 I say, well, you know, there is a monster inside of your mouth and it will eat up your teeth if you don't do that. Now they visualize the enemy, and it works, and they say, okay, oh no, I don't want monsters in my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna brush my teeth. And this is an example of how to visualize. It can be also something internal. For example, your confidence in using your property better. You might have a low confidence. So my product helps you to raise your confidence. Can be internal, can be external. B2C, they buy always an internal reason. And B2B, businesses buy an external reason. An external reason would be the amount of euro that they can make leveraging the property. But an internal one would be solving a confidence problem, solving some emotional question. Now let's go through it. So, and everybody can write down now, who is the hero? Who is your brand seeking to serve? For whom is it? And write down the hero. And then write down, what does the hero want to achieve? Hero always wants something. Keanu Reeves is trying to stop the bus, but that's not yet interesting. You would skip away. He is trying to accomplish something, saving the world or falling in love. There is something that they want to achieve. Luke Skywalker wants to find out if he has what it takes to be a Jedi. Do I have what it takes, is the question. And now the second part. The hero has a problem. There is a villain, somebody stopping them. Can be internal, external, or even theoretical, like the good versus the bad. What is stopping them? Now, step 3, they meet a guide. The guide is your brand. And the guide has a plan. There is a plan how to start, and there is trust and there is expertise. The brand is not a hero. The brand is the guide. I can guide you through this, says your brand. And the brand gives a plan. So the guide says, I can go through with you through this, and I have a plan. This is the plan. And the plan is basically just some stones in a river. This is stone 1, this is stone 2, this is stone 3, this is stone 4. And this creates trust and expertise. Because if you know the 4 stones, then you know what you're talking about. And this is everything the hero needs right now. No features, just the 4 stones. So what are your 4 stones? If I work with you, what does the homepage say about working with you? What are the 4 stones? And now the guide calls to action, because somebody who is relaxed will never take action. So you have to create now the urgency to take action. And this is the CTA, the call to action. Click this button, says everybody on YouTube. Subscribe. That's a call to action. You have to make it very clear what's the first step. So you have to do this. That's the call to action button. So what is your first call to action? There are transitional, warm-up call to actions, and there is the final call to action. Transitionals, for example, come on, be part of our community. Final is leverage your property this way to get that result. That's the final call to action. And the best way is to just describe the next 3 steps. So if I work with Asset Up, what should I do next? For example, schedule a call with me by clicking here. What happens then? Step 2. What happens then? Step 3. And can be step 2. Our experts will guide you through a customized assessment of your property. Step 3, we will leverage it to waste less money and even bring some money.
Okay.
And so at the end, you describe where will the guide bring the hero. I can bring you to this land, and this land looks like that. There are trees or there is water. Describe that land. They don't know what you know. So you have to describe in the very first seconds of your website where you can bring them. You know exactly, but they don't know. You have to describe it. And sometimes it feels annoying for you, because for you it's natural, but for them it's really needed that you describe it. That's the exercise. And at the end, you sum up the character transformation. So the character, the hero, went from A to B. First, they were a manufacturing head who was wasting a lot of property equals revenue. But later, they had property working for them while they were asleep. That's the character transformation from A to B. And then you go on your website, on your emails, everybody, on all your marketing collaterals, and try to implement this strategy. And especially the villain. So remember that if they don't do this, they will waste money. That's the villain. Money wasted. And you can visualize it. It's money lying on the floor or some way of seeing the money that is wasted. That's the ideal client. And now we go to the second tool, how to differentiate more. Of course, if you want this tool, you can download it, strategysprints.com/tools, and you can use it. So how you can differentiate more, because you are a small team, a lean enterprise, so you have to be very aware of your cost side, but you want also to scale. So how to do that in a smart way? We use the equalizer. The equalizer is writing down what you currently offer. So your firm would be the yellow one in this example, but pick your competition, your main competitor, and think about in what are they investing in right now. So there are also other people who do assessments of properties. Who's the most relevant competitor? In what are they investing? Let's say they are investing in technology, like to make it work on the phone. Now, how can you differentiate yourself? Like you work more with emotions or with trust or with something else than technology, or with your network, a trusted community, whatever it is that you can differentiate, because then you write down here what they are offering and what you are offering, and you cluster on the left side where they are super strong and are investing a lot in, and where you will divest. You will stop putting energy and money and time into that. That's on the left side. That's where you save money in this funky year 2020. And also you will reduce the amount of money, of people, of time, of attention that you put into the middle field where you are meh, you are okay and they are okay, but nobody's really winning. And then on the right side, this is where you are winning right now. You will double down on that. This is your strength. So all the money and all the resources that you have saved from the left side in your budget of Q4 2020, you will then shift to double down on this technology, on this product, on these skills, whatever it is. And this is how you create your budget of this quarter, of the next quarter, by reducing the costs and at the same time innovating. because you are doubling down on what already works. So you will have less costs, but you will have higher impact with this very simple exercise. That's how you can become incomparable. It's the equalizer tool, also that you can download at strategysprint/tools, and we are happy to help if you have questions there. That was the budgeting side, but now the sales side. You want to scale, so you have to bring in more people. First thing is what to measure every week. You said you want to have more conversations per week. So the strongest channel right now yours is your personal network. That's working well.
True.
And what a sprint coach now would recommend to do is to measure every week how many conversations you have with this network. In some weeks it will be 4, in other weeks it will be 17, so that you find your average. What is the current reliable number that you have, so that you start little improvements, little experiments. For example, can I try a LinkedIn campaign? And then you will measure, you will see the numbers if the LinkedIn campaign works or not. Can I try a Google ad? And then you see how much this number improves. But you want the data. You don't want just to feel if it's working, to want to see that it's working. So we are big proponents of data-driven decisions. That's why we like to work with Google, because they have the same values. So get your data. Get your data of this week and write them down. So write down the number of conversations that you had, how many turned into work, how many were rescheduled. Because the rescheduling number is also important, because then you see if there is something technical that's not working that you need to repair, or if there is some content in your funnel that you need to improve. Because sometimes they just don't click with the words that you are using. So you go back to that exercise, recheck the words, try different words, and then find out which one really click. But the answer will be in your numbers.
Well, I do differentiate between the people who seem to be very interested, which I reschedule, but not ready yet to be asked more, which I reschedule quite soon after 1 or 2 weeks. And there are others who are saying, okay, at the moment it's a bit too much, but quite soon it could be very interesting for us. So they reschedule. So I rescheduled them after like 1 month. So that's kind of the two we have now. So
perfect. Try to reduce the month to
who is kind of like a hot candidate for and who is interested but not ready yet. So that's not that easy to find out.
Perfect. So not right now is an objection. We will come to objection handling in a second when we go to the sales script. And 1 month is too late. In 1 month, a lead becomes cold. So try to have it in 10 days or 14 days. Everything else gets cold and is probably lost.
Okay.
So let's jump directly there. Let's not do the numeric growth plan. I wanted just to continue. When you have these numbers, now you can have a numeric growth plan, so that you know your current conversions from, okay, this number of conversations with leads leads to a conversion of this percentage into projects. That means revenue. That means this kind of lifetime value per client. So you know what one client brings you in a lifespan of working with you, because this is an important number for the next steps. But let's jump directly to the sales script, because you are getting this objection. Yeah, it's really cool, but later. This is an objection. And let's see the perfect flow of a sales conversation. Let's say you had somebody, they went onto your website, they saw that you have this offer, they are interested in this offer, They clicked because you had a great call to action. They then consumed a PDF about how to assess the value of their property. They then watched a video where you explain how you do it. They want now to talk to you. They click, they get on your calendar. Now you have the sales call. Let's say you have 45 minutes together. This is how you can structure these 45 minutes. Start with taking control of the agenda, because there is a V-shape effect of what they want to talk about and what you want to talk about. And if you don't take over the agenda, then the gap will be huge and you will not get it together anymore after 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you install the structure of today's call. You say, thank you for being on the call. This is what we are going through today. And then you let them lead, but you have installed the field. And now you listen. While you listen, you try to qualify and diagnose in your structure what the property qualities are, what their ambitions are, what they want to do, what their level of awareness, the numbers they have, the numbers they lack. This is what you are diagnosing while listening. And then you contrast that, so their current situation, where they want to go, and you describe this gap. Did I understand you correctly? You have two properties, you are not using them, you would like to have this goal of XYZ in 3 months. Mm-hmm. And so you describe the gap. But then you go to benefits. So what would be the benefit if you do this? What changes in your life? What changes in your P&L? And benefits means not features. You don't go there and say, yeah, I have an app that can help you. Mm-hmm. You do not talk features right now, only the benefits. More money, more time, more freedom, less waste, less headache, mm-hmm. less costs. Then you do the first trial close, an open-ended trial close. The trial close is like when you go to your kids' theater evening, and the whole school is playing a piece on the stage, but you are really bored, and you are just waiting for your kids to be on the stage. When your kids will be on the stage, you are super awake, you make the photo, you clap, and then the next kid is on the stage and you are bored again. So you are not in the same interest level for every benefit. So now you have just shown the menu, and then you ask, which one of these sounds interesting to you? And then you deep dive only in that one. Otherwise, you will bore them. So you deep dive only in the one benefit where they give you a signal that they are interested in. That's mm-hmm. the first trial close. And now, if for that benefit, you go in and talk about the deliverables. We can deliver this cost reduction, this revenue increase, etc. Deliverables, still no features. Deliverables are these 4 stones in the river. And then again, a trial close, but this time a little bit more narrow. Okay, which one of these really interests you more? You go even deeper there. And then comes your first proposal for work together. Okay. Now it's really important. Now you say the price. and then you have to be silent for 15 seconds. This is really awkward. We train this with our coaches, so they send us the Zoom recordings, and we really give them feedback and help them train this. You have to shut up for 15 seconds after you say the price, because now it's working inside of them, the gap, the 10 times value, and now if they are the right one, now they want it. And this will create a high tension that they want to solve. This is the moment where they will say, okay, let's do this. And the question will be, how do we proceed? When you hear how do we proceed, you have a yes. If you don't have that, now you have objection handling. So if they say, yeah, sounds great, but later, this is an objection. Mm-hmm. And objection handling means, okay, ask, okay, explain me more. So later, what would be different later? Okay, in January, what will be different? So open the next door. When one door closes, open the next door. Keep the conversation going. Try to understand them. And then come up with examples of somebody that did it earlier and had good results. Mm-hmm. But take it very seriously. Expect 5 to 8 objections to come in one call. Okay. The call does not go directly to yes. You have to go through 8 no's before you come to a yes. But the no's are just one door closing and another door opening, because you want to basically understand them and really help. So you just continue asking, okay, what will be different? How will you see that it is different? How can we maybe make it happen earlier? And this is the whole thing of objection handling. So collect the main 10 to 15 objections, write them down, share them with your team, because this is the most valuable part of your sales script. And this whole thing, these 10 steps, these are the sales script. So really write it down, as we have a Google Doc, and these 10 pieces are in there. And now that you are doing the sales, you create the script, you do it 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, and when you feel that it really works, the good part of sales is the learning curve is very steep. So when you have done 35 calls, you are a very good salesperson. Right. Or you know that you will never be a good salesperson. Okay, then team up with somebody who is. But the learning curve is very steep. I remember my first 35. After that, I was good. And then I handed the whole system over to be just the owner and not the CEO anymore. But this is the part where you create this system, and when it works, then you can hand over. Do not hire a head of sales or salespersons before this script has worked for 20 times. This is a mistake many people do. I'm not good at sales. I don't want to do it. Let me hire a salesperson. They will do it. But the first thing a good salesperson asks you is, okay, show me the script. Show me the conversion rate. Show me the recordings. And if you don't have that, the good salesperson will not start with you. And if they start with you, they are very junior, so they will not be very helpful. You have to create the system yourself. And the last step, schedule a next step, is always, okay, let's continue this conversation. I'm intrigued. Let's continue this conversation maybe in 10 days, 14 days. Don't do it 1 month, because then they will have even forgot 1 month later what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, true. Yeah, we are not as far at the moment. So actually, we don't have this sales script yet. So I mean, we have some experiences how to attract people and how to close a deal, but I think there is much potential in this area. Yeah.
What are your current the benefits of working with you?
Well, our customers gain I would say like team knowledge. So they gain, usually they're not very experienced in real estate. So they gain knowledge and clarity, and actually like having the potentials in their mind, they also gain get some goals to reach with their real estates. So I would say the first customer reaction is kind of, oh, now I know what's going on with my real estate, so with my property. So so kind of clarity, I would say.
Because then one of your first questions can be, how much clarity from 1 to 10 do you have about how to use your properties?
Mm-hmm.
You install your expertise, you start the conversation in the direction that you want to have. And also between the line, you show that you know how to raise that clarity.
Yeah.
And sometimes this is a great benefit, and it will immediately click. You have to test it 5 times, then you know. If it doesn't work, this year is a special year, and many people only hear the survival benefits. Everything that is nice to have, people right now, they just filter it out because they are so much concerned right now with the survival of their company, keeping the staff, etc. So it might be that you have to frame these benefits according to the current situation of your market around you. If they are concerned with keeping staff, frame it as, you know, that you can save costs by using your property in a different way so that you can keep your staff in this quarter. So be aware of where they are right now and what is on their hearts and minds right now. So that you have to change, adapt the benefits accordingly from quarter to quarter as their environment changes.
Yeah, just to add here maybe, and it's also a question from my side. Another way to frame what Simon said now and ask you now would maybe be to what extent you have productized your service. Yeah, so my question would be, are you always selling like one package and it's one size fits for all? Or have you productized your service so that you can go step by step and maybe sell the benefits which are useful for the survival in the first place?
Well, we have kind of prototyped the product because we focus on the hero or on the target group, and but they do have different properties in there. Like some of them only have some land, like some site on the countryside, or they have some industrial buildings in somewhere. So it's very different. Or they have some other assets in the city. So so that's actually always a bit different. But like the first step is very clear. You know, our first step we have, like the first check of the property, is like the output looks very similar to every. But step 2 and step 3, they are different, because then you need to specialize for the type of property. Yeah. I mean, kind of every building in the world is kind of a prototype, which makes these services always individual, I would say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in your take, Markus. What is on your mind when you hear this?
Yeah, in general, I was also thinking about, are you working in Austria only, or are you already working abroad? Because my my hypothesis would be that the Austrians, at least in the private sector, are maybe not so open to think about what their properties are there for. Yeah, what you can do with it. Yeah, so the Austrians are not very flexible in that area. That's what I think. And so the question behind would be, how could you create more awareness about real estate also for private people, and what the value is there? And the second question would be, is going abroad a topic for you?
Firstly, it's the Austrian market, real estate market is it's very closed, I would say, because it's not very transparent compared to Germany, for example. In Germany, you get much more data about transactions and about values and about facts, and this offer that's maybe one reason why we don't have a lot of foreign investors in Austria, because the market is very intransparent, and I mean, our service is kind of giving everyone a chance to be part of the Austrian real estate market, because with with the first step you get a feeling about your properties, and therefore, yes, step 2, or like one further step, is going to be offering these services abroad as well. We have a lot of actually last week I had Germans and one Swiss and one French I was talking to, and they want to invest in stable real estate markets. Austria is still very stable in some sectors. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer it to our target group, our hero, but it doesn't need to be an Austrian. So but it's probably more difficult to offer the service for properties abroad. I mean, still we are focused on Austria, but one of the further steps could be doing building up the value chain on online based, and having professionals from other country working for us as well, which is kind of a long-term goal for the brand. So yeah, I'm not too much thinking about this yet, because I still need to do my first steps, but it's a vision. Yes.
Super cool. Michael, do you have any question to Markus or to me?
No, at the moment it's. I thank you very much. It was very much information again, and much input. It's always because I'm a technician from my education, so I'm very always surprised how technical sales could be. So it's very I love it a lot. And I'm really looking forward to my next steps, and getting how do you say getting the things done, and to
Absolutely, yeah. We talked a lot. Now it's about doing, and how can you do it? So let's sum it up. You can optimize your targeting by doing the ideal client exercise. Who's the hero? Who's the villain? Where can your brand bring the hero? How does this land look like? And then go to your website and check if the first 10 seconds of your website, it's even called the hero section, if this hero section is really telling that story. So is it clear who is the hero? Check that your brand is not the hero, but the customer is the hero. Is it clear where they want to go and where you can bring them, and what could be the obstacle / enemy, and how you can help avoid that? and reach their goal. Then second thing, cut your costs right now to be very lean and healthy for these dynamic years coming up. So differentiate more from your competitors. Check right now what your main competition is investing in, and where they zig, you zag. So what is your way, your unique, authentic way? Nobody else is like you, so do more of that, less of the rest. You cut the costs, you cut the attention and the resources on the left side where you are not winning, and you double down on the right side where you are winning anyway. You just double down on it. So you innovate by spending less but having more impact, which is important to survive and thrive these current years. And then the third step, how you can make sales your superpower. Every week, try to track a few but relevant numbers, number of conversations, number of conversions, so that you get more of a friendly relationship to this number. You want to know this number, because then you can have a reliable sales estimation, which is good, again, for budgeting, for cash flow, for the question when to hire who, because you know more about your cash flow and your situation. Then the next step is to improve your sales script. Think about the flow of the sales conversation and how can you tweak that. For example, using these 10 elements or changing them according to your setting. But try to think of what would be a good flow and really write it down and share it with your team. And when it has worked 20 times and you have all the objections listed out and you have a good answer to every objection, now you have a sales system. Now you can hire salespeople. Now you can hand it off in your team and have somebody else do the sales with you or instead of you. Now you can go on a very long holiday and your business works. That's it. And if you want to use these tools, you can go to strategysprints.com/tools and use them. If you want a dedicated sprint coach, then that helps your business grow, you can go to strategysprints.com. We have some solutions for that. We can help you increase sales effectiveness and have a better marketing execution. We work in 90-day sprints where everybody has 3 goals and 3 numbers, and we help you fast track your goals. We appreciate feedback about this webinar and how we can improve it. This is the link. And if you want to keep the conversation going also with other CEOs, then you can join our Facebook group. It's called Entrepreneurship in Sprints, and we learn from each other there and keep each other accountable. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Markus. Thank you, Michael. And keep rolling.
Thank you.